What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to The Good, the Bad and the Stupid. It's Monday the 27th of January. Hope you're well, had a great weekend, told everybody about me. We've got lots of new listeners and viewers to the podcast. If not, you haven't told anybody, then what you're playing at, you're meant to be my champions. Unless you're listening to me in secret and you don't like to tell people that you're interested in trash entertainment or whatever this would be categorised at. Anyway, we're going to get straight on with it because I've got loads to talk to you about. The Holocaust Memorial Day today, first of all. I want to say something about that. And also I watched the programme last night about, it's actually 75 years since Auschwitz concentration camp was liberated. And people across the UK will remember those who suffered under the Nazi persecution. I just remember when I visited Auschwitz, and it's a very strange experience, but very. I remember it. It's very, very hard to visit that place, but I think I encourage lots of people or anybody to go there because nothing can prepare you for what you learn when you're there, but it's also really important, isn't it, for people not for that kind of thing not to ever happen again. So, and there was lots. What I liked about it, there was loads and loads of school coaches there. There was ones from the UK, but they were all from all over Europe, all visiting, and all the kids were going, and and that's its legacy really. That it was going to be the place that tells people not to make that kind of thing happen again. But I wanted to tell a quick story about when I was there. There was some flowers in the courtyard, which was an area which they used to shoot the prisoners, political prisoners, if I remember rightly. There was a firing wall, and there was lots of bullet holes all over the wall in this courtyard. And there were some flowers at the bottom of the courtyard in the centre, and there was a little plaque, and the lady that was showing us around told us about this plaque and the flowers, and it was a story about a guy called Maximilian Kolbe, who was a priest, and what the situation was, and this plaque was a memorial to him, and what it was he was a prisoner at the camp. And there was another guy there who was a sergeant in the Polish army who had been captured, and I can't remember why, but he was pulled out for execution. And the priest stepped forward and agreed, or asked if he could be executed instead of the guy, because the guy had a family, a wife and children, and they did. They took the priest away instead, and they executed him instead of this guy. And basically, and what is moving about the story is the fact that, also moving about the story, should I say, is that the guy, who was a guy called Francistek, I just wrote his name down here, Gajunizek. I don't know if I've pronounced it right, but he survived, and he died at the age of 94 or 95. But when we were there were some flowers there, and he'd been and left these flowers for this guy, and apparently he visits the camp often to pay respects to the priest at the plaque where he died. So it was just really, really moving, and I remember that even to this day. So that's the kind of power that you get out of visiting a place like that, even though it's probably one of the worst places you'll ever visit. So anyhow, I'm going to move on from that, and I was going to create another quick statement about the basketball player Kobe Bryant, who died at the weekend in a helicopter crash. Another very, very sad episode, or event, should I say. And I don't really watch a lot of basketball, but I love watching it when I do. I don't follow anybody or anything like that, but I can appreciate talent in any walk of sport or any situation. And he was an extremely talented person. Whenever I watched him, he was amazing. So it's very sad that it was him and his daughter that crashed, and many other people who died in that helicopter crash. And he's getting a lot of people are celebrating him today, so I thought I'd give him a quick mention. Anyway, let's move on to first of all the Barmy Army What's his name? There's an England cricket fan, Billy Cooper, is quitting as the Barmy Army Trumpeter. You know, the Barmy Army who follow the cricket. He's classically trained, and he's basically been following the team and going around with them for 16 years and 52 tests. And where they play, they've always got the music going, haven't they? And he's one of he's like chief trumpeter basically, but he's had to stop because he's got a wife and children, and she doesn't like being left home alone with the kids. So he's through gritted teeth, he's had to come out and retire as the trumpeter, but he shouldn't retire. He should take them with him. Get all the Barmy Army, if they're all like going, gutted, we really want you, the trumpeter, all chip in for his missus and his kids to go, or at least, you know, go every other year. Come on, you can't just retire for good. You love it. And he's going to miss it, 100%. I'll put money on it now. I might go down to Betfair and put money on it that he's back trumpeting with them within 2 years, 100%. His missus just going to have to get on board with it, I'm afraid, because he's not going to be able to. Someone's going to talk him into it. You know, like when they're just in one of these films and that, where somebody just comes around the house and go, "Come on, we need you. The place ain't the same without you." And he'll just look at his wife. She'll give him a look as if to say, "Don't you dare!" And he'll go, and you see the door close, and he's off with his trumpet case. So I think he's going to be back. I'd love to learn to play the trumpet, actually. I want to learn to play, I was going to say the saxophone then, but it's too cheesy, isn't it? I like the saxophone, I love it, but I can't be like fucking Kenny G and then baggy 80s trousers and fucking suit 7/8. There's a brilliant photo of him. It looks like he's only playing to these. There's 2 women in the audience, and I'll have to dig it out. But it's that Kenny G with his big mad perm hair, and his 2 women in the audience, and he's like playing the saxophone, and he's like leaning over. It looks like they're the only 2 women there, and they're about like twice his age, you know. I mean, he certainly ain't trying it on with them, but it looks that way in the photograph. But it looks like he's only got 2 people at his concert. But anyway, I'm not here to fucking love people down with the saxophone. I want to fucking funk people up with the trombone or the trumpet. So watch this space. I might fucking give you a little go if I'm going to learn in secret and then give a little blast. Or I might become the new Barmy Army man within a year or 2 years. If this guy ain't going to come back, sign me up. I'm going to learn all the tunes. Get free fucking... You got to get people giving you the bong, ain't you? You can't do it for fuck all. You know what I mean? Everybody else is just there getting pissed. You're working on the trumpet. Anyway, let's move on. I was going to talk about the China. The China thing. Apparently, it's getting heavy. They were snake flu. They're calling it now. It's got an even fucking more vindictive name. Although they don't even know it's from snakes or bats. So it's going to be one or the other. But apparently, it's got a 14-day incubation period. So you don't even know you've got it. So anybody wanting to leave China now, they're saying you've got to fucking sit there for 14 days in quarantine, and then they'll let you go if you haven't, because it takes 14 days to actually show whether you've got it or not. So you've already, if you were going to go on a 2-week holiday, you fucked it in, because your 2-week holiday is up before you've even left. So you'd be like, right, you can go now. You'd be like, bollocks, I've got to be back at work on Monday. So anyway, I'm just making light-hearted of a real negative situation, really. But it's tough. Hopefully it don't fucking start spreading and get worse. But there's a lot of cities on lockdown now. So anyway, watch this space. I'm not sitting here with the gas mask on yet, so fingers are not too fucking, we're not at panic stations yet, let's put it that way. Although I have been out and bought 10 bags of pasta today, so I don't know if I'm psychologically setting myself up with some fucking doomsday food. Where are we going here? What's that one? Oh, Terry Jones has left his brain to science. So if only they could listen to it. He's left. Terry Jones, the Monty Python star, has left his brain to science for research and stuff, because he had he had dementia, didn't he? I was going to say, but if only they could listen to it, you know what I mean? Plug some fucking headphones in and listen to his thoughts. Wouldn't that be amazing? That in many years to come, that might be a case, or they might be able to do that. So maybe they should put it on ice and just say, this brain is fucking hilarious. So don't touch it until we can listen to it, because there's a lot of comedy to come out of there, and that's what he lived his life for. So that's what we should get out of it. But obviously they're probably going to be more interested in the dementia side of it. But I personally think, you know, it should be heralded and saved until we can figure out how to use it and fucking get more out of him, because in his last years of his life he was struggling to speak, and you know, he suffered, didn't he? So maybe he can live on with my great idea there. Anyway, he was a great guy. There's a lot of sad stories in it today, but you know, I feel like I've got to mention them. So here's a stupid story. Donald Trump has released healthy eating guidelines, declaring pasta is a vegetable. So his brain is a vegetable, is what is more to the fucking point. He's saying US children can now say the starchy food is one of their 5 a day. How the fuck is he going to do that? Pasta made of vegetable flour may credit as a vegetable. The new guideline says pasta made of vegetable flour may credit as a vegetable. I don't know. It's borderline, isn't it? I suppose if it's made of vegetable flour, but not fucking what pasta? Not very. Pasta is not really made of vegetable flour, is it? Unless I'm missing something. Anyway, it's fucking very loose if that's the case. So, and that's Donald Trump, who eats fucking plain loads, or he has like, didn't he have about 20 fucking Big Macs in one sitting once? You know. Don't listen to him, otherwise you'll end up looking like him. Nobody wants that. That's for sure. I don't know if it affects your hair or your... Saying that, he's fucking got hair. He's 70 odd, isn't he? He hasn't... Although his hair's a bit wild, he's still got hair, so can't really knock him on that. Although some people have showed some of those photos where the wind catches it. I think he's got fucking super duper Bostik super glue now sticking it down. You don't want any more of those photos. You can't walk. What's that plane he drives? He flies around in. Air Force One. Just don't go anywhere near the fucking the things. You know, when he comes out and starts talking to the crowd right off the plane. I bet he don't stand in front of the turbines. He stands near them, but I think he stands away so that his air doesn't blow. Because when he's talking, you can't hear a fucking word he's saying. He's shouting because he's like got the engines behind him. Crapachino, an expensive coffee, has been dubbed the Crapachino because it costs £30 and is made from bird poo. Now, I've not read this, but I'm going to fucking try and get the crux of it. The super premium brew at a new cafe, Jacu, is produced from the excrement of the endangered Brazilian bird of the same name. Well, I just live in Brighton. Saying you don't have to live in Brighton. I live in Brighton, and the fucking I've had fucking seagull shit in my coffee, but I didn't drink it. And that was a £2 one. I just went and bought another one. But these are saying fucking here's £30 for one, and it's come out of the excrement of an endangered bird. The jacu eats the ripest berries from coffee plants. Villagers then collect its droppings, which are dehusked to separate the partially digested fruit pits. Anyway, there you go. So where do they sell that? £2 a sip it's worth that. It works out to, and it's sold at a central London coffee shop. So if you fancy trying that, I think this place is called Jacu. It's in London. So or I'll sell you one for £4, and it will be it's called Seagull. A seagull. What could you call it? Seagull shit. Coffee. Oh, sorry, I can't hang on to that one too long. It's got seagull shit in it anyway. You get the point, and it tastes like the name. Meghan Markle's dad has come out and he's going to court. He's going to see them in court over. She's suing the newspapers, and he's coming out to say that what he said was true or something or other. I can't remember what it was now. I've ripped half the paper off. But anyway, he's got some of his views here on them, on their future earnings of Harry. What's he going to do? Maybe I wanted to say that because he says, what's he going to do? Maybe make a shaving cream or something. So he's got a sense of humour. I feel sorry for him because he's like fucking proper thrown into the limelight. You know what I mean? And you can't like. He must be getting hassled, and he's getting nothing out of it. He's getting no love. He's getting nothing more than fucking hassle from reporters and whatnot. On the marriage, he says he wishes them well, hopes they stay together, but he gives them a 50-50 chance. So there you go. Under all the shit that's going on, it's going to put a strain on him, isn't it? On leaving first hubby Trevor Angelson, Trevor was crying, and I hope that doesn't happen again. Strong words. I'm Megan doing an Oprah Winfrey interview. I like Oprah. I was going to write and ask her to let me have an opportunity to speak. She might because she's fairer. I don't think she's swept along by the royals as most people are. Yeah, get him on and let him fucking have his moment in the sun. Let him fucking get a payday. Get a few paydays out of it. Let him fucking move on with some money. Because that's all they're chasing, money. It's all about the money. It ain't about, well, Harry's never been happy, but, you know, they see this fucking big, glitzy, glamorous existence. They're not going off to fucking hide in Alaska in the hills, are they? They're going to fucking put themselves out there and, you know, milk the cow that they've just, golden goose that they've just created. What is it? Anyway, I think that's all. There's another one there, but I can't bother to read it. So, anyway, there we go. That's we're doing all the important stuff today, ain't we? You know, I don't want to be just called a slap and tickle. I was going to say, and then a slap and tickle news reporter. I meant slapstick, but it's going to lead me onto slap and tickle. Talking of slap and tickle. Apparently, people now are creating sex rooms in their houses because they don't want to have sex in the bedroom, or they want to have a separate room where they go for sex, but they keep the bedroom for bedroom stuff, for literally bedroom stuff, i.e. getting dressed, getting ready, or going to sleep, or reading. So these people are talking about, one guy's they've funked up their shed. Literally, they're funking in the shed as well. Told you, slapstick. They've turned the shed. They've said they converted it, and he threw a few bean bags and whatever, and they have friends around in there. But now they're talking about they're shagging in there and stuff. Oh, if I was one of their friends, I'd fucking check the bean bags before I sat down in them. Make sure you're not sitting on some fucking fresh stains on there or something or other. Anyway, they say that's their place where they go. So the neighbours, if they see the shed rocking in the night, or they see or the neighbours might be fucking doing, what's it called? Being like a neighbourhood watch or something, and they see the fucking shed door open and start rocking. I think someone's burgling the shed if it's from where I'm from, and I'd be round there and like fucking steaming in there with a baseball bat or something if he's a friendly guy, you know, if he's out to protect the neighbourhood. And next thing you know, see your spotty arse going up and down. They'd be like, "Oh, sorry, I've just come to fucking, you know, look." Hopefully, it doesn't get to the point where he might be an hard nut and want to fucking use his baseball bat. Anyway, so be careful. Put the "Do Not Disturb" sign on the door if you're going to do that. Otherwise, you know, you're going to get yourself into some bother. These other ones, these two. Another couple, they said that they've created a sex room because she doesn't want to see Morris. Her husband's called Morris. I don't want to see Morris's old dressing gown hanging on the door or my running shoes on the floor. So when you've been together for a long time, I guess you got to fucking do something different. Otherwise, you just got a load of shit around the room. Unless you tidy that shit away, then. You know what I mean? They want to see my fucking dirty underwear all over the floor and whatnot. Well, fucking, you know, get yourself a cleaner or whatnot. Anyway, they've got a new room. They call it a sex room. And you said we can pretend that we're in a posh hotel, not in our 3-bedroom bungalow. So the facade, you're creating creating a situation. You could be in Las Vegas or anywhere, couldn't you, when you walk into that room? And they've like blinged it up, they've got gold all over the place and whatever. So whoever, you know, I don't know what else they got going on in there, but what else it says there? When the children flew the nest, we did it, and glittery gold wallpaper, the perfect king-size bed, super sexy gold, white duvet, filled the drawers with sexy lingerie and perfumes. Sounds great, doesn't it? We head to a gold-gasm room at least 5 times a week. We're like a pair of teenagers in our special room. This other one sounds like fucking something out of Eurotrash. These two, they're saying they're doing it in the kitchen, and they've already road tested the benches when we first moved in. We agreed it made a complete sense to cook and couple in the kitchen because the living room's full of kids' toys, they said. And she said, when Joey's working a late night shift, I surprise him by wearing an apron and sexy lingerie underneath. Even if he's knackered from working 12 hours, it perks him up. I bet most of the time he perks him up. I bet there's sometimes he comes in, he goes, I hope I could slip straight up the stairs. I'm absolutely knackered, 12 hours. The last thing I want to do is start fucking shagging. I want my tea. Or, you know, maybe you have to put the microwave on and let it cook while you're fucking having a go. Otherwise, you know, and this, it's just, I think they're saying it's every night, 4 or 5 times a night. The best thing is when we're finished, we don't argue over who has to make a cuppa because we're already in the kitchen. So, told you, Eurotrash, or that's something out of like one of those Reader's Wife magazines. Not that I read them, but you know, you wonder whether they've made that fucking shit up, don't you? Some of these newspapers. Okay, where are we going? I've got loads to do more, but I'm going to keep it short and sweet. So, oh, come on. I've lost the plot. Gucci's flogging a £750 dress for men. The paisley and floral tunic is designed to cover the knees and should be worn with trousers to complete the look. Well, that one ain't going to get anybody into your fucking sex room. Imagine a bloke. Is that like meant to be lingerie for a bloke? Imagine the woman coming home and the guy stood at the door wearing that. She'd about turn and piss off, wouldn't she? A paisley and floral tunic. That sounds like the fucking worst piece of clothing. You never catch me in that. Paisley pajamas are fucking, you know, a passion killer on their own, aren't they? So a tunic, for God's sake, come on. There's a picture of it there. Anyway, I'm going to show it to the thing there. It's there, Gucci, and it's £750. That's enough to make me fucking my toes curl. Anyway, I wouldn't go near it. £750. I'll just have to get like a bed sheet and put my head through it. If I had to wear one, that's what I'd do. Do it on the cheap. Go to Dunelm and get a paisley fucking bed sheet and put your head through it and go, yeah, it's Gucci. You know, £7.50, not £750, and you can do like the Asda price afterwards. At the end of the day, she's not going to shag you whether you're wearing the one or the other, so you might as well save your money. Right, last one. Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie divorce had been voted the most shocking split of the last decade. Kind of was a shock, wasn't it? And the third most shocking split was Declan Donnelly hosting Saturday Night Split without Ant McPartlin. Come on, fuck you now. You can't go from Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie to fucking Ant and Dec and Saturday Night Takeaway. Come on, they're on 2 totally different stratospheres, for fuck's sake. Who's next? Who's third? Oh, that's third. Oh, it was second. That was third. David Cameron leaving number 10 after the vote that gave the vote over leaving the European Union. That weren't a fucking shock. That was like, fucking get the fuck out. You fucking numpty. You fucked everything up. You've just divided the fucking nation. And the fourth one was Jeremy Clarkson leaving Top Gear. No, well, I don't know. Was that a bother? I didn't really watch Top Gear, so I wasn't really bothered. And fifth, Mary Berry quitting the Great British Bake Off. Again, couldn't give a fuck. Not my cup of tea at all. That's a cup of tea with dog shit in it, if you ask me. Anyway, you'd have to refer to my the bird shit coffee earlier on if you only just joined me. Last one, Brad Pitt. Anyway, it was a shock Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie split up because they always looked the business when they were out, didn't they? But just goes to show. Maybe they didn't have a sex room, and behind closed doors they were like getting pissed off with picking up each other's shit off the bedroom floor. It's all things like that, isn't it? People just can be the two best looking people in the world, but you're still going to piss each other off after a while. Right, last one. Brad Pitt almost quit as traveller Mickey O'Neill in the film Snatch, Guy Ritchie's film Snatch, because he couldn't get the hang of the Irish accent. And he had to ask him, he said, because his friend kept telling him, I can't understand you. And he said he had to ring him up and saying, are you okay if you can't understand your beautifully written dialogue? And he said, yep. Because he still wanted him in the film. But I thought his character was fucking ace in that film. And you couldn't understand him. You couldn't understand the word he was saying half the time. But he sounded like a traveller. He sounded like an Irish traveller, for me anyway. He could understand some of the words. He spoke really fast, and I thought he was authentic as anything. So, and you know, he played it really well. And to have Brad Pitt in your film, come on, you ain't going to turn him away, even if he fucking was wooden as fuck. Anyway, the film was great. That and Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels were two classics. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. That's my opinions on a lot of things. Hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I'll see you again tomorrow. See you later. Bye.